Fani Willis hires disgraced ex-judge as prosecutor. Fulton County is the revolving door that nobody asked for. Or maybe the revolving hallway, because I'm pretty sure the courthouse and district attorney's office, they're in like the same building, separated by a hallway. Anyway, this is from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, written by Rosie Mannins. Shermela Williams resigned as a Fulton County Superior Court judge in February while facing possible removal from the bench for professional conduct violations. A former Fulton County Superior Court judge accused by Georgia's judicial watchdog of breaking the law by jailing a young woman has been hired by District Attorney Fani Willis as a prosecutor. Now, she used to be a prosecutor. A lot of judges used to be prosecutors. Not every day that I hear a story about a judge resigning to become a prosecutor and that cause of resignation being tied to an investigation into misconduct and possible fear of reprimand. So Shermela Williams resigned in February while facing possible removal from the bench over a series of misconduct charges and an associated lawsuit. Now Williams, a judge since the start of 2021, is returning to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, where she previously spent several years as a prosecutor. A spokesperson for Willis's office told the AJC that Williams is an accomplished attorney who has served before with distinction. We are fortunate that she's bringing her experience and knowledge back to our office to serve our mission of making Fulton County a safer, more just place for everyone, the spokesperson said Monday. Williams did not respond Monday to questions about her new role. The DA's office declined to disclose comments on the salary.
I heard you all got raises. Yeah. Was there not some bonuses? Bonuses.
Williams' job history shows she was a senior assistant district attorney in Fulton County from 2011 to 2014, when Willis was also a prosecutor in that office. Williams then spent a couple of years as a prosecutor in DeKalb County before working as a litigator at Atlanta law firm Thomas Kennedy Sampson and Tompkins. As a judge, Williams was the target of a misconduct investigation, and we're going to get into the background on that, by the Georgia Judicial Qualifications Commission, at one time charged with more than 30 counts of violating the Georgia Code of Judicial Conduct. The JQC's hearing panel recommended last year that Williams be ousted from office, saying she'd inexcusably broken the law by jailing a young woman called to testify in her parents' divorce hearing. Williams said she wanted to teach the 21-year-old a lesson and understands the way she handled the situation was wrong. The woman, Molly Dennis, sued Williams in October, alleging her constitutional rights were violated when she was placed in a courthouse cell for up to 45 minutes on Williams' orders. Williams recently sought to end the lawsuit, arguing she has absolute judicial immunity against Dennis's claims. The jailing of Dennis in 2023 was the worst of several missteps by Williams, the watchdog JQC said. And again, this is going before the state Supreme Court, so Georgia Supreme Court, they'll be the ones that ultimately weigh in on what to do with this decision. The JQC added that it was disappointed in Williams' stunning lack of candor throughout the misconduct case. We're going to see that. Williams' resignation came before the state Supreme Court decided what, if any, punishment she should face. The JQC has asked the court to consider penalizing Williams irrespective of her resignation. The court has the authority to temporarily bar ousted judges from seeking judicial office in the future, among other things. JQC Director Courtney Veal said Williams' resignation was an obvious attempt to resign her way out of accountability for her misconduct, though it was certainly best for Georgia's citizens and judiciary. Well, I wonder if this statement was made before she stepped back into a public service position at the prosecutor's office. The resignation, but wait, there's more. Before resigning, Williams had urged the state Supreme Court to let her stay on the bench, suggesting a short suspension would be adequate punishment. In her resignation letter to Governor Brian Kemp, Williams said her decision to step down was bittersweet. She was elected to a second term last year. Serving in this role has been one of the greatest honors of my professional life, she wrote, both in and out of the courtroom. I have proudly served my community with diligence, respect, honor, balance, and impartiality. Williams is also accused in the JQC's misconduct case of improperly favoring a Delta Sigma Theta sorority sister in a child custody case and making other litigants in family cases wait up to 2.5 years for rulings. And so that's the update today. We hear that there's this hiring decision by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office of previously Fulton County Superior Court Judge Shermela Williams, who seems like she resigned before whatever reprimand, if any, came down from the Georgia State Supreme Court. I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is that prosecutors are licensed attorneys. They have a duty of candor to the court. And Andrew Fleischman here, who I initially saw share this story this morning, says it better than I could explain. He's an attorney himself. The JQC report about Shermela Williams shows that she violated her duties not just as a judge, but as a lawyer. She lied repeatedly to the tribunal. That's Rule 3.3 and 8.4. She locked up a witness for no reason. That's Rule 4.4. She discussed cases ex parte, violating 3.5. And in his opinion, the Supreme Court of Georgia is still weighing whether to disqualify her as a judge after these findings, but it seems obvious that she should be referred to the state bar for discipline. So imagine the Supreme Court of Georgia issues some finding where, it impacts her law license through some type of suspension, or who knows. Well, you think this impacts his hiring decision? I'll leave that information with you. That's the story of the new hire. Going back to the prosecutor's office, the revolving door, the hallway, if you will. And let me know, do you think this statement rings true? Or how do you feel about this statement? I'm also publishing a longer video where we look at some of the counts and findings of the JQC. I'll link to that video in the description, or you can find it on my YouTube channel. And that's all I've got. I will do an update if I see anything from the Georgia Supreme Court about this JQC recommendation. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Take care, you guys.